I wish I had some good news for this video, but I don't. So let's jump in and look at Inno's Greed. Oops, I meant the 2023 Forge Bowl event. Why the depressing intro? Well, this event has been known as being awesome for one feature: the coaches. Specifically the diamond one. Why? Because it's cheap, only 150 diamonds, and could launch you into higher leagues, get you more rewards, and be really effective for the price. However, with this year's Forge Bowl, Inno decided to jack up the price to 475 diamonds, or over 3 times the original cost. This change means that it is no longer possible to be guaranteed a fully leveled pergola, which is the main event building, if you are free to play. To say this is a horrible change is quite the understatement. Later on, we'll be going over the best strategies to maximize your chances of getting a fully leveled event building, but unfortunately that's all we can do. With all that said, let's look at the positives and dive into everyone's favorite feature, the wiggling players. Okay, maybe not. The main building, the pergola, is 5x4 with 11 levels, and it comes in 2 very interesting and different options at that final 11th level: the pizzeria and the bistro. Both buildings will provide the same supplies, metals, and a 16 to 25% attack boost, giving up to a 1.25% attack per tile efficiency. Well, that's already some decent stats. What's interesting is their additional productions. The pizzeria will give 3 forge points, 30 goods, 1 fragment of store building kits, and a number of previous age goods that vary from 10 in the Iron Age to 30 in Space Age Jupiter Moon. And this means that you can get a total collection of up to 60 goods from this one building. The bistro is much more of a standard event building, giving 12 forge points, 10 goods, and 1 fragment of a 1-up kit. The short of it is that the pizzeria is very goods focused with store building kits, and the bistro is forge point focused with 1-up kits. I could see the pizzeria being used by players who negotiate a lot, while the bistro might be more popular with anyone looking to increase their forge point production. Besides the main buildings though, several new items have been added that can be won in this event. The one that will catch your eye first is the Epic Forge Bowl Selection Kit, which is available from the event pass and daily specials, and this will give a wide selection of upgrades and kits for previous Forge Bowl event buildings, including the Fiore Village, Terracotta Vineyard, Olympic Treasury, Colossus, and even the Classical Garden set. It will take 15 fragments to assemble these kits. There are also 4 brand new consumable items for speeding up productions, being the finished goods productions for one or all goods buildings, and the finished event building productions for one or all event building. These will be available across the event, including in the event pass and as grand prizes, and even fragments of these will be available as daily specials. They will require 150 fragments to assemble. And while they aren't quite new items, you'll now be able to win special goods such as Promethium and Orichalcum from the Arctic or Oceanic futures, as well as next stage goods, which is an interesting prize, from the event pass grand prizes and daily specials. As you could probably guess, the event pass is back, and it costs an unfortunate sum of $15 USD, or the equivalent amount in other currencies. This event pass is quite different from the Winter's event pass, and that will not offer upgrade kits for the pergola, but rather focuses heavily on the Epic Forge Bowl kits, as well as the new consumables for speeding up goods or event building productions. You can get quite a few of these kits and consumables from the event pass, lots of next stage goods, and a total of 3 exclusive portraits. It also seems like you can only win the new finish all goods and all event building production items from the event pass, while the items for finishing one production will be available as daily specials too. As usual though, I'll leave the purchasing decision up to you and your wallet, but enough on spending money. Let's talk about the event minigame. It's essentially the same as last year, where you spend footballs on various players to advance down the field. The enemy team just falls down at the slightest touch, and all the players wiggle. The longer distance players cost more, but also usually have a higher percentage chance to win a daily special. However, in nearly every case, the shorter distance players are much better choices in terms of the benefits per cost in footballs. These players can be buffed by the use of coaches. There are 4 free coaches that provide a variety of bonuses for your team, including a small chance of doubling the rewards from a player, granting an extra yard per play, increased chance of winning the daily special, or even doubling the points that count towards your league progress. There's also the Ultimate Coach that now costs 475 diamonds per 24 hours and provides all the boosts of the previous 4 coaches combined. However, this price is over 3 times the amount that this coast cost in previous Forge Bowl events. All the coaches except for the double rewards and the ultimate ones have a 24-hour cooldown before you can switch to them again, so be sure to not consistently switch from one to another, or you may be stuck waiting for cooldowns to use them again. It used to be that I'd actually recommend purchasing the Ultimate Coach for its original 150 diamonds, as it was a pretty good deal, but at its current price of 475 diamonds, it's way too high for me to be able to advise spending the diamonds, especially if you're planning on attempting to get a fully leveled Pergola on multiple worlds. However, if you do choose to purchase it, try to use as many footballs as possible on that day to maximize its value. The leagues are broken down into the same divisions as usual, ranging from rookie to gold, with most active players likely to place in bronze or even silver if they are really lucky. If you place at least in bronze, you'll get an extra Pergola selection kit, which you'll need to get a fully leveled Pergola. Of course, this begs the question of whether we can get a fully leveled Pergola for free, and the answer is maybe. I'm not able to guarantee that you'll make it unless you choose to purchase the Ultimate Coach. Why? Because you have to make it to at least 1,040 yards and get in the Bronze League to get all the kits that you need. If a lot of players purchase the Ultimate Coach, you might not be able to reach the Bronze League, so what can you do for free? The only chance you have is by saving all of your footballs for one day to spend them with the Progress Coach, which boosts your yards. You have to average less than 10.45 footballs per yard to reach that 1040 yard mark, and that's only possible if you use the Progress Coach or the Ultimate Coach. If you choose the League Coach to boost your league progress, you will not get enough yards. To restate this as clearly as possible, the only way you have a chance at winning a fully leveled Pergola is by saving all of your footballs for one day and using the Progress Coach, while also choosing the best yardage players, which are the ones on screen here, with the best ones being at the top of the list. No other strategy is viable to come close enough to winning the kits needed to level your Pergola fully, without also spending nearly 500 diamonds per world you want a Pergola on. And that brings us to one of the best parts of every event, the daily specials. There's a wide variety available, including the Fiore Village, Terracotta Vineyard, Olympic Treasury, Altar Garden, and even Colossus kits. But that's only half the possible prizes. You can also win Classical Garden kits, Winners Plaza kits, Renovation kits, Next Stage goods, and some of the brand new finished production items, including fragments of Finish 1 goods production and Finish 1 event production. And you'll need to win fragments at least 10 times to assemble a full item. It seems that the Finish All versions of these are going to be exclusive to the event pass. The Epic Forgeable Selection Kit is also available as a daily special, but you only get 10 of the 15 fragments needed to assemble it. Many of the upgrades or kits available in the Epic Kit are available as normal daily specials, so if you want a specific building's upgrades, you'd be much better off prioritizing those daily specials rather than this Epic Kit, as you'll need 3 daily special wins to assemble only 2 Epic Kits, while you could have 3 upgrades for a building instead. In fact, there's not much of a reason to go for the Epic Kit in its current state other than as a novelty. We've also got a total of 6 new portraits available through this event, with the first 2 from the quest line, the next from placing in the Gold League, and the last 3 only available in the event pass. If you need extra diamonds now that it seems events are getting more expensive, check out my video on all the different ways to get diamonds in the game. I wish I had some better news, but alas, I sincerely wish you good luck in this event, and see you all next time.